Hi everyone, this is Nia and today I'll be painting a cuckoo clock. I just thought that painting a clock would be appropriate for my last post this year before New Year's. This painting is inspired from an old cuckoo clock that I have in my room. It was actually my sister's room and this is probably more than 2 to 3 decades old, and I didn't even realize how dirty it was until I made close-ups on it with my camera. But anyway, like usual, I will take the main elements of the design, but I'll also play around and change some things to personalize the painting. Let's begin by sketching it out. Like usual, I always like to sketch out the base shape of the cuckoo clock. In this case, it's sort of like a house, and I just want to place down those main lines first before adding on the details. In terms of the placement, it's more than halfway up because I don't want this to fall right in the middle since there are chains below the cuckoo clock. So in order to have the cuckoo clock be placed at the center, the main house or the building of the cuckoo clock needs to be a tad higher. I really like the simplistic style of the mini houses that I painted earlier this month, and I wanted to paint this in a similar manner by using bright, fun colors and making it look simple and kind of cartoony. I might also paint some mini storefronts in this style because I really like it so much. But this is why I'm not going to bother too much with perspective for this painting, and it's basically like just drawing a house with a clock in the middle and different decorative elements surrounding it. You can even look up cuckoo clocks on Pinterest or Google. I think they actually have the same one I found on Pinterest, and mix and match different elements to create your own. For this top section, I also made a balcony similar to the cuckoo clock that I have, but I changed the decoration of the drawing and also the sides of the windows. The hardest part to draw is probably the circle in the middle for the clock. Spacing is always difficult for me, and getting even sides to the circle is even harder, so I tried to create some guidelines by drawing a cross in the middle, and I just tried to draw a circle around it. But it would be much easier if you have a drawing compass or a circular object in the size of the clock. But I find that paintings like this doesn't have to be perfect, so I just freehand it as I usually do. It's completely up to you how accurate you want to create the dimension of the clock itself. Mine is nowhere near the actual cuckoo clock. I just drew on whatever I felt like. Even the decoration here at the bottom, I intentionally made it a little bit shorter so it doesn't look as bulky and thick. But if you like to extend certain elements or add more decoration in other parts, that's also completely fine. Personally, when I was drawing this out, I didn't exactly look at the reference image all the time, and I just kind of made things up along the way. So for the chain, you'll see 3 chains for my actual cuckoo clock, but I end up drawing 4. I'm also going to change the decoration next to the clock, where you can see a boy on the left and something like an ox on the right hand side. On the left, instead, I'm going to draw out a lady wearing a dress, and on the right hand side, I'm going to draw out a dog sitting down looking at her. Here I'm drawing out a simplified pine tree behind the dog, and on the balcony at the top, on the right and the left hand side, I'm going to draw on a few flowers with added leaves for extra colors and decoration. Next here, I'm drawing out the clock with the long hand and the short hand as well as the numbers, but because I'm going to paint it with a dark color later on, this turned out to be quite redundant because I wouldn't be able to see the pencil sketch anymore, but I just wanted to try to draw it out to see the size and the font of the number as a trial before I paint it later on. So next here are the colors I'll be using. This is Chinese White by Holbein, Gray of Grey by Holbein, Titanium Gold Ochre by Schmincke, New Gamboge by Daniel Smith, Quin Sienna by Daniel Smith, Vermilion by Holbein, Terre Verte by Holbein, Cobalt Blue by Holbein, Burnt Umber by Holbein, Lamp Black by Daniel Smith, Buff Titanium by Daniel Smith, and Bleedproof White by Dr. Paige Martens. Now let's begin to color everything in. Firstly, I'm going to create a mixture from a mix of cobalt blue with a lot of gray, and I'm going to use this really light blue color to paint the window at the top. Next, I'm going to paint the greeneries. I'm going to use a mix of Terre Verte with new Gamboge to create this yellow-green color, and I'm going to paint this for the greeneries behind the lady on the left and also for the tree behind the dog. For the pine tree, I'm painting it in sections, and I know there are white space in between, but I'm just going to leave it for now and go back later once everything has settled. I'm also going to use this color to paint the hat on the lady and the leaves of the flowers as decoration on the left and right of the balcony. I'm going to create a different type of green by mixing Terre Verte with gray, and I'm going to use this green to paint the lining underneath the roof, and I'm going to use a medium to thick consistency to get a flat coverage all over that area. Next, I'm going to add red accents to the bush. I just use a very thick consistency of vermilion. The bird on my cuckoo clock is blue, and I thought it was a nice color as accent, but since I already painted the window blue, I decided to paint the bird red instead, and I use a mix of vermilion with buff titanium. I first use a light consistency to get a full coverage on the bird, and then go back in with a slightly thicker consistency to paint at the back of the head, the back of the bird, and also the top part of the wings. And then I would just take a clean damp brush and soften the blend so the bottom of the head as well as the feathery part of the wings are a bit lighter. I think that's the only gradation that I'm going to do for the whole painting. For the rest of it, I'm just going to do a flat wash for every single section. Like for this area I'm painting, I use a mix of burnt umber and Quin Sienna. For the wooden part of the balcony, I'm going to use the exact same color mixture, but I added more burnt umber in the ratio, and I also used a thicker consistency to create a darker brown. For the wood underneath as support to the balcony, I used the same mixture with added vermilion to make it more reddish. Next, I'm going to paint the base color of the front face of the cuckoo clock. For this, I just use a medium to thin consistency of titanium gold ochre, and I'm just going to do a flat wash. Since we are painting a larger area, you can always switch to a larger brush to make it faster, but since I always try to limit the amount of supplies, I'm just going to stick with this one. As I was painting this, I left out the white area of the tree, but instead I'm going to glaze over it with the same green mixture in a lighter consistency to fill in the rest of the tree with a light green. I used the same reddish brown mix to paint the beam here, but this time I added titanium gold ochre to make the color lighter and also more pastel-y. After that, I just want to line the bottom to separate it from the titanium gold ochre base, so I added Quin Sienna and vermilion into the mix to create a darker version of the color. For the railings of the balcony, I'm just going to paint over the whole area using a medium consistency mix of titanium gold ochre with new Gamboge. I want this to completely dry before I paint in between the curvy design using the same dark brown as the top and bottom part of the balcony using a mix of burnt umber and Quin Sienna. Just like those areas, I use a thick consistency to paint in between those curvy parts, so it looks like the railing design of the balcony is actually the yellow part as the brown recedes to the back. On my actual cuckoo clock, the lining underneath the roof is actually wavy, so to create this effect, I'm just going to use Terre Verte by itself in a thick consistency and paint thick lines in between the curves to create that wavy effect. Next, I use a mix of Quin Sienna Vermilion and a bit of Titanium Gold Ochre to create this orange color, and I'm using this color to paint only the bottom part of the roof. Next, I'm going to use the same brown mix as before for the top part of the roof from a mix of Burnt Umber and Quin Sienna. For the wall of the balcony, I'm going to first use a brown mix, just like before with added cobalt blue this time, so I can separate it from the railings of the balcony. And for the left and right corner as well as the top part of the wall, I'm going to use this orange mixture from New Gamboge and Vermilion. My palette probably had a little bit of burnt umber too, which is why the color is a bit more muted, but this is completely up to you. You can adjust the tone as you like. Here I'm going to use a thick consistency of New Gamboge to paint the beak of the bird and also lamp black to paint the eyes. As for the decorative flowers on the left and right of the balcony, I use a mix of Chinese white with cobalt blue, and I left one out because if I painted that area it would just look like a big blob. So for that one flower on the left and the right, I added more Chinese white once the darker blue is dry. For the line detail that I painted earlier, as well as the line for this bottom part here, I used a mix of New Gamboge with Vermilion in a thick consistency. Underneath this wooden base, I also want to add a bit of green just for an extra color, so for that I just used Terre Verte in a thick consistency. Next, I'm going to paint the lady. I use a very thin consistency of Titanium Gold Ochre to paint the face and the arms, and for the detail of the dress I just used New Gamboge, and I'm going to wait for that to dry before I paint the rest of her dress. For this part that I'm painting right here, I want to create a really dark base, so for that I used the same brown mixture, but I added a lot of cobalt blue to create more of a muted dark brown. After I paint the whole base, it looks kind of streaky and I'm not really liking the saturation, so I ended up adding more Quin Sienna and Burnt Umber. I'm just layering it right on top to build on the saturation as well as the thickness of this color. Going back to the balcony again, there's one spot that I haven't painted, and for that I'm going to use the yellow-green mix from New Gamboge and Terre Verte. For the top part of the wall, I ended up using a mix of Quin Sienna and Burnt Umber to just paint over the top of the base because as it dries it was a bit too light for my liking. I'm going to go back to the lady. For the hair I used Gray of Grey, and for the dress I just used Lamp Black. Of course you can make her dress more colorful, but I just want the lady to stand out against the background, so I decided to use black. For the dog, I'm going to make it spotty, so for the ears, the eyes, and the nose, I use Lamp Black. As for the rest of the body, I use a mix of Lamp Black and Gray of Grey. For the pile of logs next to the lady, I use a mix of buff titanium and Titanium Gold Ochre, and I'm just going to leave it to dry and move on to the next area. I'm painting the center of the clock using the same mixture. For the clock itself, I'm going to use the same browns as before from Quin Sienna and Burnt Umber. This is taking me a while since it's quite a large area to fill in. You can also use a large brush for this, but just be very careful when you're painting around the small edges, or you can also use a small brush to paint those edges, then fill in the rest using a larger brush. After I finish painting the clock, I'm going to leave it to dry, and using whatever was left on my brush, I am going to paint the details for the bird, like the wings, the tail, as well as line the edges for the head to make it stand out a bit more. For the flower next to the dog, I'm just going to apply the same method as I painted the flowers for the balcony. Next, I'm going to paint the chain. I want this to be gold in color, so I used new Gamboge with titanium gold ochre, and I also used the muted brown mix that was already on my palette from burnt umber, Quin Sienna, and a bit of cobalt blue. Now I'm going to paint some of the details using bleed-proof white in a thick consistency. Firstly, I'm just aligning the window here and I'm just drawing out the frame. Then I want to use a thick consistency to create dots around the clock and also the hand, as I practiced earlier when I was sketching it out. Writing down the number of the clock was actually quite difficult to do for me. I would suggest for you to use a white gel pen if you have access to one. Unfortunately, my white pen all dried up or has no ink left, so I just wrote it with my brush. As you can see, I made a huge mistake on the 8, so I just erased it and paint over it using the same brown, and I'm going to paint over using the bleed-proof white after it's completely dry. Next, I want to paint the design for the cuckoo clock at the bottom and also just some details on the flower. For this, I want to paint white daisies. As you can see, I'm painting all the details using bleed-proof white, and this way I have a nice white base for me to paint over. Like for the center, I use the thick consistency of new Gamboge. You can also paint over the petals, but I'm just going to leave mine white. Here I'm just going to outline the logs using the same brown, and I also want to add a little bit of pattern just to make it more fun for the face of the clock using a thick consistency of titanium gold ochre. I'm just going to paint the rest of the details with bleed-proof white, and just like I mentioned before, you can go over them again in different colors. You can make it as colorful or as simple as you would like. For the chain under the clock, I decided to add dots using a mix of Quin Sienna and burnt umber. That I'm going to use what's left to line the clock hands to make it a bit more visible. And here I'm going to add details to the face of the lady. It turned out looking a little bit creepy, but it was really difficult for me to paint on a really small area. And as for the rest, I decided to outline the lady and also the dog to make the shapes more visible. I thought I was done, so I'm going to erase the pencil marks which are still visible. And after that, I realized that I want to add more detail using a darker color, like underneath some of the wooden beams and the balcony. Since there are a lot of things going on here, I felt like I need to break up some of the shapes. For extra color to the flowers, I decided to just dot in some pink using a mix of bleed-proof white and vermilion. You can also use other colors as well. This is optional, but I'm going to paint over the window using a darker and more muted blue. So using the same mixture of gray and cobalt blue, this time I added a touch of lamp black, and I just feel like this more muted blue helps make the color of the bird pop out just a little bit more. Lastly, I'm just going to add some lines using a thick consistency of bleed-proof white to line the top railing and the railing underneath the balcony. I'm also going to do the same for the platform where the lady and the dog is standing, because there's a lot of dark colors there and I just feel like I need the white to separate those dark elements. And that's pretty much it for this cuckoo clock. Like usual, all the list of tools as well as my social media links will be in my description box. I'll also have the outline available in my coffee shop. If you guys are still here, thank you so much for watching till the end. Happy New Year, and I'll see you again next year. Bye!